So today on Whiskey Pop, we're going to talk about martial arts and mashups. What does that mean? Well, maybe like rock and roll and karate. Oh, God.
Probably not.
Come on, pretty mama.
Yeah.
Or martial arts and international man of intrigue.
Oh my God. There are some things that are just wrong.
Or how about Rambo and kickboxing?
Oh, yeah.
So today we're going to talk about martial arts mashups.
Yeah, coming right up.
So welcome to Whiskey Pop. My name's Jeff.
And I'm still Zane.
Thank God. And so today we're talking about martial arts mashups.
And that means amazement when you think about it.
Yeah, because what happens when you take martial arts and you mix it with another genre that normally doesn't have martial arts in it?
You get some crazy things.
You get some pretty crazy things.
Funny or awkward or whatever.
Or really bad ideas.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about those, but before we do that,
we drink some whiskey.
we drink some whiskey.
So today, Jeffrey, what are we going to have?
We are going to drink Suntory Toki. So before we go any further, I think we should smell this and
It's super smooth smelling.
it's yeah.
Yeah, how can you say smooth smelling? Does that make any sense?
It's a smooth smelling of whiskey.
Smelling. But I mean, it's very complex. I do still get kind of like an almond smell though. So
I still get a lot of fruit.
yeah,
I feel like there's a lot of fruit usually in Japanese whiskey. Okay, let's try
yeah,
this.
let's do it. So I mean, we're going to talk more about this when we do second pour.
Yeah, so later this week we'll do second pour and we'll really go into this whiskey and what some of the tasting profiles we're getting out of it and all those things. But today we got more important things to talk about, such as
Mash food.
martial arts mashups.
Yeah.
So what would be one of the martial arts mashups first that you think we should talk about?
Well, I mean, we've got all kinds of melodramas and stuff, but what
Melodramas.
about if you've got your typical cop movies
Yeah.
or TV shows,
Right.
and you somehow mash it with martial arts?
Oh, you mean like Chuck Norris's Texas Ranger?
Exactly like Chuck Norris and as the Texas Ranger.
So, okay, I mean, really, Chuck Norris and karate on TV. I mean, that must have made so many middle-aged women happy
Oh, dude.
for a decade.
It's like the Wrangler butt pants. Let's face it. It's the
Wrangler butt pants.
he was grizzled and and all that, and then he just spin kicked everybody in the face.
Now, I'm one who I really do love Chuck Norris.
Oh, I do too.
But, I mean, come on, guys. Chuck Norris, can he really act?
I have been in a discussion recently about the inability of Chuck Norris to act. And you know what? I don't give a shit.
And neither does 15 billion other
That's
people.
why we watch these movies. We want to see Chuck.
I want to see Chuck roundhouse kick
I
a
don't wanna
criminal
see,
through the window.
Lone Wolf McQuade is just a name they slapped on Chuck Norris.
And now, didn't Lone Wolf McQuade inspire this TV series? Isn't that kind of the idea?
Yes, basically. I am assuming so. We can dig into that. But
Which is one of the most popular Chuck Norris movies of all time.
yeah, it is. So
Okay, so it's not just semi-mediocre TV shows?
oh no, I mean, like you were telling me, you were like talking about there's like animation that's got that in it.
So like, have you guys watched Avatar: The Last Airbender? Not the M. Night Shyamalan thing, but more like this.
You were telling me that they incorporate martial arts even though it's a fantasy anime.
Oh, it's definitely, you know, they never really come out and say they're all Asian characters. Nothing like that ever comes out. They do lend you to think that way.
Okay.
Which is one of the reasons why I think M. Night's movie didn't do well, because all the characters that we thought were more Asian characters.
Was a little bald white kid.
They just kind of go and make them all white.
Yeah, that just didn't work. And
it's a bad idea.
It's more like insulting, really, on those kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
and not to mention that the movie was just horrible. Yeah. But the TV series storyline was beautiful. Lots of martial arts in it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was ever intended to be just a martial arts animated film.
Yeah.
Not like Chuck Norris's animated film like this.
Chuck Norris stars in Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. Chuck Norris, he's got nerves of steel and strength to match.
The crap they gave us in the 80s, man.
Yeah. What about Westerns?
Oh, yeah.
You guys have seen Western movies. Even if you're not into Westerns, everybody's seen one.
That's right. You know, sometime we're going to have to do a whole series on Westerns because you and I both love Westerns.
Yeah, well, that's because it's pop culture. It is Americana at the core.
Westerns at one time were the top genre for everybody to enjoy in the theater.
And
there's a reason why we have John Wayne movies.
Yeah, that's right.
Clint Eastwood movies. But before that, we also had John Wayne.
John Wayne.
All right, I'll do it.
Do what?
Help you rescue Princess Pee-Pee.
Pay. We are partners.
Shake on it.
You're not in the East, okay? You're not in China. This is the West.
Yes. Yes.
Shanghai Noon series, dude. That was not a series. It was like not even a trilogy, right? They only made 2 of them.
Yeah, I think you said there were 2. I don't remember anything but the first one. So
they're so freaking
help
funny.
me out here.
I mean, so you got Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Wow.
I would have thought Owen Wilson would be interesting in a Western.
But, you know, I just sat back and I was like, wow.
Wow.
But no, that's a perfect mashup because you're sitting there and it's a Western movie.
It's a Western.
But you can't help but notice
the crap load of martial arts in the film.
Yeah.
I mean, it does kind of start off in the East and it moves to the West, but it primarily is a Western. I mean, even Native Americans show up and they like break down every barrier of a Native American in this movie. So they're like, even like the main character of the Native American woman who follows them around, she knows English, but she acts like she can't speak English and all this stuff. And I don't know, and she knows she's better at being she's better at protecting everybody than Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson are.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we can't ignore things like, I don't know, maybe sci-fi?
How about one of the best movies of all time? The Matrix.
The Matrix, yeah, that's right. Definitely very martial arts, right? I mean,
that's how Neo, basically, bullets don't work.
Yeah.
So they have to try to fight Neo, you know,
That's
hand
true.
to hand, and that's why it's in everything like that.
Because he knows Kung Fu.
Yeah. And he is also the one.
But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of martial arts in The Matrix.
Yeah.
If I remember right, what was it, the great Kung Fu choreographer that did all the stunt choreography for Kung Fu films helping them do this movie and the other 2. So there's a lot of martial arts influence, even though I don't think anybody would sit down and go, that's a martial arts film.
Right.
Clearly a mashup.
We take Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah.
And we go into action movies.
And here he is again.
It's still a mashup. It's an action movie, hit 'em hard mashup. But think about it. The martial arts in
John
Wick.
That's right.
Like... You don't sit there and watch John Wick and think I'm watching Kung Fu.
You know, it's right. I would almost dare say that Keanu Reeves is our version of Elvis Presley today. How many martial arts films has Keanu Reeves been in? The Matrix, John Wick, what is it, 47 Ronin?
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
he's been in a ton of martial arts-ish movies.
But you said, how did you compare him to Elvis Presley? I'm confused.
Elvis Presley knows karate, right?
Oh my God.
Do you really think Keanu Reeves knows karate?
He was trained. But anyway, that's just John Wick movies. He's using like Kempo or Aikido and Judo and all these different things, which is martial arts outside of amazing gun work, which he's trained by
Now that we've
actual
seen, right?
operators that teach him how to do the stuff. So
I think I've seen a video of him showing off some of that here with Halle Berry like a while back.
oh, that's cool.
So it was pretty cool.
yeah, I mean that's a mashup that I guess we kind of take for granted, but it's amazing.
We were sitting here trying to come up with an idea. Was there ever a horror film and martial arts mixed together?
Well, yeah, it was Blade.
Blade, right?
And more specifically, if horror, Blade 2 was more scary.
I would say so, and I think it falls under that horror category because of vampires.
I mean, let's face it, Blade series, you still had the one even with Ryan Reynolds, and they're still...
God, I forgot about that one.
And don't forget Triple H.
Blade Trinity.
Wrestling is a martial art. Yeah, that's all right. So Triple H is in that. And come on now.
That's a stretch.
Work with me.
That's a stretch.
We're talking about Blade as a trilogy.
That's a stretch.
Hey,
but yeah, okay.
to all
Triple
you
H.
WWE fans out there, yeah, we represent. That's what I'm saying. No, there is horror elements to Blade. I mean, it straight up is. The king of horror was, Dracula. And we're talking about vampires. So come on.
That's true. So the king of WWE would be
The Rock. Hulk Hogan. Vince McMahon. Okay, he's probably king. But all I'm getting at is that I do think that's not a stretch to say that Blade is a mashup of a horror film and martial arts.
What would be a mashup of The Rock? Oh, Scorpion King.
Scorpion King. Damn.
Wow.